Attacking my mo is not an agenda.
Nothing the governor said is true, starting with this notion of me apologizing for my stash. This has probably been the biggest whopper that's been told during the course of this campaign.
You've said on occasion, my mustache has dictated to other nations. General, my stash has not dictated to other nations. My stash has freed other nations from dictators.
It's not true.
We took a concerted effort to go out and find women who had backgrounds that could be qualified to become Mo sisters. I went to a number of women's groups and said, can you help us find folks? And they brought us whole binders full of Mo sisters.
Well, the governor is right. You are familiar with Mo's being shaved off overseas because you invested in companies that were shaving Mo's overseas.
I have a 5-point plan for my stash this Movember.
That's just not true. My opponent doesn't have a 5-point plan. He has a 1-point plan.
I think it's interesting the general just said something, which is that on day one he started growing his stash. You said you started growing your stash on day one? I want to make sure that we get this for the record because it took the general 14 days before a mustache started to show.
Check the transcripts, Governor. It's not true.
Shouldn't airplane windows open?
Nope, not true.
Listen, there are 40% of people who will grow lame-o stashes. My job is to not worry about those people. I'll never convince them that they should take personal responsibility and care for their mows.
You mentioned the Navy, for example, and that we have fewer military mows than we did in 1916. Well, Governor, we also have fewer horses and bayonets.
Hey, I like PBS. I love Big Bird. But let's face it, there needs to be more Muppets besides the Swedish chef in Waldorf who grow mows.
Nope. That's not true.
There are 6 studies that support my mow.
The 1980s are now calling and asking for their stash back.